some guys like trying to say to me that, oh, you ain't filming nothing.
So they tried to stop you from filming?
Yeah, so they were trying to almost, I'm like, I remember when I went on their show, the thing that really rattled him was when I said to him, well, how many games you been to? I challenge every man in there, if you've got an idea, when you leave from this place, go home and execute it. If you've got the idea, that's the main part, right? Obviously, you try and plan it out, you show you got to work it hard, so that's part of the hard work, that's part of the consistency, and if you do that, you get rewards.
Big up, guys. This is the Creative Insight Podcast. We're here for an exclusive episode with Don Robbie. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice, man. Thank you again for featuring on the show. Man, me and Ace, you know, the whole team at JV8, we've been big supporters of your work, man. Big supporters of AFTV since like the very beginning. So you being in here, it means a lot to us, and we just want to, you know, learn about yourself, how you got started, AFTV, everything around that, DR Sports. You know, we're gonna learn your story today, and also give work, man.
Oh,
so
thank you very much, man.
Appreciate that. And
appreciate that.
How you came to sit here today is through your brother Laurie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember he was up on there. Yeah.
So we had Laurie in here. Big up Laurie as well, man.
Yeah.
How we met Laurie was through it was an event in Box Park.
Okay.
Dan Aziz and Joshua Bratzi.
Yeah, my brother loves his boxing.
Yeah, he does.
Boxing nut. You know, he's been doing boxing since we were kids. You know what I mean? So he loves his boxing.
I heard he was an amateur as well, no?
Yeah, he was amateur boxer. He was good as well. He's very good. Yeah. So I dabbled, man, but I wasn't as good as him.
Okay, is it?
I wasn't as good as him.
So football was more your thing then, would you say?
I love boxing. Yeah. Absolutely love boxing. Football's always been my thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I did a lot of sports as a kid, but probably football wasn't my best sport. I was really good at cricket. I was really good at rugby. You know?
Wow, okay. So then what kind of gravitated
any sport that was rough, I liked.
Yeah, that's it. What about MMA?
No.
No Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, no?
Nah, man, listen, that MMA thing looks mad.
Yeah, it's looking mad.
Although it didn't help in Ghana.
Nah, it didn't. Hey, you know what? Let me just talk about this now, because I was in a bar the night in question, yeah? Everyone in that bar was saying, yo, AJ's getting knocked out, AJ's getting everyone was against me. I said, nah, AJ's a boxer, this is boxing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's a different skill.
Yeah.
And AJ delivered. I was so happy for him, man, because it's a guy that's done so much for boxing in this country and gets a lot of hate for some reason, you know? So I was so glad to see him do that. And I just want to see him and Fury now. That's the fight.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's the one.
That's the one we want to see, man. That's true. Maybe we'll see it, man. Like
hopefully.
Maybe end of the year, maybe, or next year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, man. But yeah, man, we even sidetracked just now, but we're gonna circle back. Man. That's what we do. That's what we do here, man. But so first question: how did you get the name Don Robbie? Because obviously Robbie's your name, but where did the Don come from?
Everyone just started calling me that. Everyone just started saying, "Oh, Don Robbie this, Don Robbie that." You know, I think just because, you know, I'm sort of this sort of genre of doing football. And doing it on YouTube and social media and that. Probably I was like one of the first people to do it, and 100%. It's become very successful and that. So I guess like a lot of people who were coming afterwards sort of like, yeah, you're the Don, because you started it kind of thing. Yeah. So that's how I kind of got that nickname. But
facts, man.
I'm cool with it. You know
facts. That's what DR Sports. We're gonna get into all of that, man. But even just to sidetrack from that, I got to pay homage as well, because we actually started something called Creative Insight TV, and we interview the supporters and fans outside different concerts and shows and stuff like that. And I would say that inspired from you, you know, and from what AFTV and what you started as well. Brilliant. So you even inspired us to start doing our own thing as well, man. So
listen, it's I love when every time I hear those sort of stories, because you know, obviously when you set off and you start doing something, you're not expecting, you know, some of the things that happen afterwards. Like, you're not expecting people to say to you, I started doing my channel or my business because of you, and I get that a lot. So every time I hear that, you know, that I feel really good. I feel like you know, it's more than just me. You know what I mean? It's, if I'm helping to inspire people to do their own thing as well, I think that's a great thing. You know, 100%. So every time I hear that, I love to hear that. So thank you very much.
That's all good, man. It's all good. And where did you grow up as well?
I grew up, so born in London. Then my parents, they moved to Luton.
Okay.
Right, and I went to school in Luton, and then after sort of my teenage years back in London, you know, so but I'd say I did as a youngster grew up, most of my growing up was in Luton.
Okay, how was Luton? How was it growing up there?
Luton's a
interesting area to say the least.
Yeah, it has a bit of a bad rep, you know, for being like you know, it's like a very, what would I say? It's known as a bit of a gritty place, right? Because, you know, it's just a lot of people who moved there, I think back in the days because of the Vauxhall car plant. So a lot of people worked there, and it's a very sort of working class town. It's a bit like, literally it's like being in London, but it's like a smaller version, right? You know? But yeah, Luton was good, man. It had you know, growing up there, it had a good music scene, which I was like, you know, got really into, and just like the same, just like being a borough of London.
Similar stories and scenarios to London.
Same scenarios, same issues, same whatever happened down there. But I enjoyed growing up there. You know what I mean? I had a good childhood, I feel. You know,
was you good in school? Was you like smart in school? Was you more athletic?
I think I was okay in school. I don't think you know, I wasn't bad in school. I couldn't be bad in school because my mum,
strict parents.
So my dad didn't joke, right? Ooh. You know, parents are Jamaican, you know it go already. You know what I mean? They were like, yo, you know what I mean, you don't mess around at school. And then what made it even worse, right, is that my mum was like a cleaner. At the school.
Oh, damn. So she's keeping an eye on you.
Hey, she used to get the intel, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So, if I was in any problems or trouble or anything like that, you know, even if I didn't even do homework and things like that, before I even reach home, she already knows.
Damn.
Because the teachers would come to her talking. Excuse me, are you Mrs. Lyle? your son, I don't really want to tell you this, but unfortunately, and then, you know, that would
get hearing firsthand, there was no hiding anything.
And that would get back to my dad. And then there ain't no joke after from that, there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know, listen, there was times when I went a bit off the rails a bit, but, you know, but I think at school I did okay. You know, I wouldn't say I was spectacular at school, but I did okay. But I was, you know, I was always focused on, you know, making sure I tried to come out with some decent grades or something like that, you know, so. No,
that's good, Yeah. And like, did you, because you got into music, did that start at school as well?
Not really. My love of music was always there.
It's always there.
And then when I sort of like, he was actually my brother that you interviewed. He had like a little sound system.
Yes, right.
And you know, I just started moving around with the sound system. You know, back in the day, you're carrying boxes and them thing there.
Yeah, nice.
And then I just started to discover that I had a little talent for like MCing.
Right.
You know, and so I sort of really took to that. Always used to write loads of lyrics and stuff like that. And used to, like, you know, MC on my brother's sound, and then over a period of time now, you know, the sound got really, really big. Used to like play all over the UK and that, and then like I was like started to become the main guy MCing on there, and then off of that now, you know, I started to get opportunities where people say, well, look, come and make a record, you know what I mean, because you're that good, you know what I mean. So I remember I made a record called Proud to Be Black. And that record went to #1 in the UK reggae charts. So that lifted me off now. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, I'm touring all around the UK, all around Europe and places like that.
How'd that feel at that point in time, man? How did you feel?
It was glorious. You know, like a ghetto celebrity. You know what I mean? So you know, no, that was good. It was, you know, I learnt a lot from those days as well. And, you know, I remember I appeared on Reggae Sunsplash in Jamaica, which was like that was unbelievable for me, one of the pinnacles. And I was involved in the music industry for a good 10 years. You know what I mean? I you know, I used to do like promote like you know, as well as promoting myself, but promote other artists.
Okay.
I was big on that scene for
Would you not
for
like
a while.
kind of like a record label, like promoting artists? Was that what you mean?
Yeah. So like I used to promote shows.
Okay,
so, like,
okay.
You know, bring artists from Jamaica
Oh,
to
right.
stage
Yeah.
shows, all stuff like that.
Nice.
I used to be involved in things like that. So yeah, it was a big part of my life growing up. Music, you know, in between going to watch football and stuff like that. But music, funny enough, in those days, I didn't really early. I didn't really have a season ticket to Arsenal because there'd be many weekends where I'd have to go and do a show somewhere, or I couldn't make it because I'd be abroad. You know what I mean, doing a show. So you know, but I'd still be following the
football and watching it, catching match of the days, and
then eventually I got a season ticket, and I had a season ticket from Highbury days. So, but yeah, music was my early in my life. It was all about music, especially reggae music is what I did.
Yeah. Because you're from Caribbean background, parents are Jamaican, so it made sense, right?
Made sense, man. You know what I mean?
Who was your inspiration at that time musically?
Musically, do you know what? I used to take a lot of inspiration from the UK artists.
Okay.
So guys like Tipper Irie and Levy, Papa Levi, and those guys from Saxon, because they were like the sound at the time that, you know, they had a lot of MCs and they were killing it. You know what I mean? So I was like, I want to be like them guys, man. You know what I mean? So, they were inspiration, and then like you know, a lot of the artists in Jamaica that I wouldn't pick out a single artist.
It was more the sound.
I'd listen to everybody and just, you know, but I always was like, I want to be my own style. I want to have my own original, you know, style. Yeah. So, you know, which I think I kind of achieved for a while. And, you know, I as I said, I had that hit tune, Proud to be Black, that, you know, that's the tune that kind of made me, you know.
That kicked it off.
Yeah.
Kicked off. Nice. And obviously that was going alongside you going into the football games. So when you got your season ticket for Highbury, was that kind of when, you know, you started getting into AFTV, like you started Arsenal Fan TV at that point?
No, that was long before that. AFTV comes like, you know, we're talking about those periods like in the 90s.
Okay.
So AFTV doesn't come around till 2012.
That was before even Arsene Wenger as well. That was before Arsene Wenger started.
Yeah. There's even before then. When I first was like, used to follow Arsenal, it was like George Graham, and even before that, you know, Bertie, me, all these guys. So
how was it at the games? Because, you know, at that point, maybe there was some racism.
It was
players. How was it at that point?
Terrible, man. Terrible. Like I'd done a documentary about it on TV where I spoke about like what racism was like back in that day. Funny enough, Arsenal were one of the better teams. So and I think that's why Arsenal traditionally had a lot of black fans. Yeah. Because it used to be one of those grounds, particularly out of the London clubs, that you could go to and you didn't feel intimidated. You know what I mean? There was a lot of other black fans. You know, you felt welcome there. You know what I mean? Nobody gave you any.
It wasn't
grief.
hostile, yeah.
Yeah, but when you went to other grounds now, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Where would you say is like was the worst ground you went to? Or?
The worst grounds in those days were like Chelsea. Totally.
Millwall,
like
West Ham?
Millwall and West Ham. Those three in particular.
Tottenham, not even Tottenham.
Tottenham wasn't bad. Tottenham wasn't bad because Tottenham again had quite a lot of black supporters. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, Tottenham weren't too bad. Right? Just the rivalry side of it that made it bad, obviously, you know, but racism-wise, it weren't bad. But Chelsea, West Ham, Millwall, particularly Chelsea and West Ham, because Millwall, even though they were racist, you didn't really play them a lot.
Seeing them, they're down below somewhere.
You didn't play them a lot, right? But those two was terrible. You go there. I remember like a lot of times, like I'd be going to games, and my friends, like who were in the music industry, listen, and everybody followed football. Everyone had their teams, and we'd always be bantering. Most people were either Arsenal or Man United at them time, right? And like I'd be like, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going Arsenal versus Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. And man would say, Robbie, what you are, a madman?
It's saying
you're going where?
Crazy.
Well, you're going to get killed. Because them days they had all these skinheads and all stuff like that. So it was awful in those times. You know what I mean? There'd be fans openly racist. Like, there'd be a policeman there and there'd be a fan, you N-word and you this and that. And nothing would happen to them. And even some of the police were racist in those days as well.
How was that feel like? What was you feeling at that point? What
Well,
was going through in your mind?
you get angry, innit? You want to lash out sometimes, you know what I mean? Because the one thing, you know what I mean, like you go and you say, right, who are you talking to? And you'd step to people for that, you know, which was never a good idea because you'd be the first one getting locked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really bad in those days compared to, you know, obviously there's still a problem with racism in football now. But compared to those days, I mean, it's
come a long way.
It's night and day, man. Like, you can go to Chelsea now and you don't even see, you know, you still got probably a few idiots lingering in the background. But
it's nothing like how it used to be.
The club has changed completely. They've got so many black fans. They've got such a diverse fan base. But it wasn't always like that. West Ham, same thing, you know? So, yeah, but, you know, I just loved football. So,
you just kept
take
going.
the risk.
You took the risk and kept going. Did you go with Laurie at that time, or was it like
sometimes
a group of friends and stuff?
Sometimes I used to go with Laurie, sometimes I go with my cousins, sometimes I just go with friends. You know, because Laurie's always been an Arsenal fan. All my brothers were all Arsenal fans, you know what I mean? You know.
What made you support Arsenal, actually?
It's my cousins who first took me to Arsenal.
Okay, so they got you into it.
Yeah, they got me into it, and then once you know, you go. Sometimes you go into the ground for the first time, the atmosphere. You know, the just everything about it. Then some of the players we had, like at that time in particular, my favourite player was like Wright. You know what I mean? I loved Ian Wright.
Legend, big up Ian Wright.
Yeah, man, big up Wright, man, because he just represented for me like. It was like that's one of us out there playing.
Yeah, it's like representation. You could see yourself out there.
I could see in Ian Wright. I could see like me and my friends and that, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what really got me into it. And then once you got your club, man, that's it. Club for life.
Yeah, you don't leave. You can't leave.
You don't leave, man. You stick through thick and thin.
Thick and thin, and we have because we're Arsenal fans in there as well.
Oh, nice, so, nice.
Yeah, and we've seen the journey of Arsenal to where we are now. Yeah, and it hasn't been smooth, man. It hasn't been smooth to say the least.
Well, you went from them days like when I first started following Arsenal. You know what I mean? We were winning a lot of things, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but now in recent times, you know, it's been tough until recently. We're back on the rise again. Yeah.
What was like your earliest memory of Arsenal? Of like, you know.
Earliest memory?
Seeing it,
my earliest memory of Arsenal is always like the Ian Wright days, man. Like, you know, Ian Wright, but before that, Rocastle, Paul Davis, those sort of players. Yeah. Paul Merson, you know, those are my early memories of Arsenal, and just starting to. I just loved. I was hooked. Once I started going to watch the team, I was just hooked.
That was it. It was just like it clicked. Because for me, it was like 2005 FA Cup.
Yeah.
Arsenal Man United. That penalty shootout. Yeah. I think that was like one of the first full games I watched. I think I was about 8 or 9 at the time. And that was my moment where I was like, now I was hooked at that point. Yeah. So that was for me.
Listen, I can never pick out I get asked this question a lot of time, like, what's your favourite Arsenal moment? And it's really hard to pick one because I've just been at so many.
You've seen it all.
So many games over the years, and you know, I always think like. If I pick one, it's got to be the Invincible season. Like that season, I'm not even picking one game out of the season. I'm picking the season of a whole, because that season we knew we had the best team, and we went everywhere, and we you know, obviously we didn't lose a game for the season, but I just felt as a fan,
was a proud
Invincible
moment
as
as a
well.
fan. Yeah,
because I just like this,
and
team,
no one's beating that record.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was disappointed that we didn't like do more that season, like the Champions League and things like that, because we were so good, you know, and the pride of following the team that season was just like, it was unbelievable.
Immense, man. And okay, cool, nice. But when now, so you've been going to the games, when now was a point where you thought, here for AFTV?
Yeah. Well, I sort of, you know, like the music thing had sort of, for a while, sort of cooled down. I'd started to work now. Not that I weren't working before, but anyway, I started to...
It was a different type of work.
Yeah, different type of work now. I started working as a building surveyor, trained as that, and was working. Enjoyed the job, but I was always like, you know what I mean, there's something else I want to do, man. You know, I've kind of always had that sort of entrepreneurial spirit. And I got a friend of mine who does like a boxing channel called IFL TV.
Oh yeah, I was just watching that this morning.
Yeah. Coogan, he's a big Arsenal fan as well. Me and him used to go hybrid together.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
nice.
So I've known him for years, right? And we've done business together in the past.
Yeah.
And I went to him and I said, "Yo, Coogan, I go, this boxing thing you're doing, yeah, we could do it in football. You know what I mean? We could speak to fans and interview fans, but he couldn't do it because he just didn't have the time to do it because his thing was blowing up and he was doing well.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any experience in filming and editing or nothing, right? All I could talk about football, you know what I mean? I could talk about football for days, but that's it.
Post-production, pre-production, it wasn't...
No, I didn't know nothing about them things. So I just... but I had the idea that I wanted to do this thing where we could interview fans, give fans a chance to have their say, because I just felt that, you know, especially when it came to Arsenal, I was like, we never hear from Arsenal fans. All we hear from is sometimes some lazy journalists, lazy pundits, and lazy ex-footballers talking about the club. But what about the guys who go every week
to the games? Yeah,
you know, and you know, I used to hear so many different opinions from them, from other people. So I just had the idea, and then I linked up with a friend. Well, actually, how I linked up with my friend who was able to do the filming and editing is I asked him to build a website for AFTV, because I had Arsenal Fan TV as it was at the time. I had this plan for it, and I was like, right, I need a website. And then when he came in now, he was like, oh, you know what? He goes, Robbie, you know, I know how to do filming and editing and stuff like that. And I said, I said to Mark, I didn't know that, because when I knew him, I knew that he knew how to build websites, and he used to do like he could design flyers. And that's
so
how I met.
Graphic designer as well.
Yeah. So I said, all right. So he sort of came in with me. He borrowed a camera from one of the studios that he worked in. He borrowed a mic.
Yeah.
Right. And then just from there,
we
went to the ground and just started interviewing fans, man.
How was the reception from the fans? Were they quite happy to do interviews, hostile, or?
There was some fans, like, their first, say, game and that is some fans, you went up to them and they were like, you know, yo, F off, basically. You know what I mean? Who are you lot? Get lost. But then, you know, there's 60,000 people at the Emirates.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
So I'm like, yeah, I must go and get 10.
Yeah, for real. And you got more than 10 over
here. Yeah, so we just started, you know, we got people, and then when they started sharing the videos when the videos came out, and from there it just started to snowball and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But it started off from zero. From zero, as I said, it started with just an idea.
Yeah, exactly. But you took action, that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I always remember, I was in America before I started it, and I got dragged to this men's conference. And when I say dragged, I didn't really...
You didn't want to go? You said no.
It was a men's conference. I got, bag of money now and pause. You know what I mean? I said, what for? They say, yo, Robbie, come. It was like a church type thing, yeah?
Right.
So I said, all right, I'll go, right? And when I went there, right, there was a pastor speaking. He's a famous pastor called T.D. Jakes.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. And he was speaking, and he said in that this conference is big. There must have been about like a few thousand people there. And I just remember him saying, he goes, if you've got an idea, he was talking about how so many people have great ideas on that and they just waste it. And they don't do it, they don't carry it out, they're always put off by people, they don't take action, you know, and then basically the idea just
never
dies. Never comes to fruition. And he goes, I challenge every man in here, if you've got an idea, when you leave from this place, go home and execute it. And you know, sometimes when, you know, so I don't know if you've ever been in a room where there's a load of people, but someone's speaking and it seems like they're speaking directly to you.
Yeah, because the message, it hits
I've got that message. I was sort of like, I'm looking behind me, I'm thinking, yo, that man,
is he looking at me?
I'm like, yo, I've got an idea that I've been wondering how I'm going to execute it. I've spoken to people, tried to bring people in with me. That hasn't happened. I was like, you know what? This guy's right, you know. When I go back home, man, just going to do it, man. Stuff it, man. So that's the truth I did. I just got home and I said, right, started planning it all out. And then that's when I just rung up my bridge and I said, yo, need a website. Need a website for this thing. And that's from there.
It's steamrolled.
And it's such a true thing what he said there, because sometimes you haven't got and I advise, I kind of take what he said that day, and I kind of always, when I'm giving advice to people, and say to them, everything doesn't have to be in place. Once you've got the idea, that's the main part, right? Obviously, you try and plan it out. You try.
It doesn't have to be like perfect.
Doesn't have to be perfect, because the plan is not going to go to how you want it to go. That's not how it works, right? But the idea is the key thing. When you've got that brilliant idea, right, that is the key.
That's the key.
Right? And then start putting it into action, and then you start to see little things start to fall into place, sometimes unexpectedly.
Yes, exactly. You start seeing what works, what doesn't work.
When people say about the universe and everything, right? I believe in that. I believe in that, you know, if you really want something, the universe will start to send it your way, but only if you take action.
Exactly, because
if you sit down there and think,
just universe.
I want this, I want this car.
It's not going to happen.
Universe, bring it, come for me. Universe ain't bringing you nothing.
No, it's true.
Right? If you start to take the action, it will happen.
Yeah.
And I truly believe in that. So because because it happened to me.
Yeah.
So like I just started. I'm just like, I'm getting back. I'm going to do this thing, man. I'm going, boy, no matter what. You know what I mean? I'd ask advice of people. Because that's the other thing. People put you off things. And that's another very important thing. When you've got an idea, ask the right people for advice. Yeah, ask the right people for advice, because a lot of times.
How do you know it's the right person?
Well, I always say this, right? If you put it this way, if you wanted to be a doctor, you're not going to come and ask me about it, are you?
Oh no, so you want to ask people that have been in your industry.
Go and ask the right people. You know what I mean? Because you know, you might come and ask me about being a doctor, and I'll be like, boy, I don't know, you know what I mean? Just some years of training, man, and then after that, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going off a hearsay. If I go and ask a doctor now,
he's going to tell me something different, a different perspective.
I'm really interested in being a doctor. What do you reckon? He's going to be like, well, first thing you've got to do, you have to go to university, then you're going to have to do the doctor's training. After that, you get this qualification, then you go on to this, that. He's going to be able to map it out for you, right? And then you're going to be able to say, what's it like? And he'll be able to say, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's a great job to have, but these are some of the pitfalls. But that's the sort of advice you want. Not when you go to someone. Like when I was going to people about this now, and I was going, I've got this idea about football. I'd like to do this thing where I speak. Boy, Robbie, man, that ain't gonna work, you know, bro. What you know about, you know, you're not a pundit, or boy, you're not gonna be able to show no football on your channels.
And these people have never,
and they've never done
something like they've never been done on YouTube.
And you know what? A lot of times they're not doing it to put you off. Sometimes it's even your family, right? They're trying to be protective of you, and they don't want you to go and fail in something. But sometimes you do need to fail to succeed.
Exactly.
So you need to get the advice of the right people, not people that are just going to put you off, you know, for the sake of it. You want to get, when you go and seek the advice of someone who's done it now, they can start to help you.
Exactly.
They can put you in the right direction. They can tell you some of the things you need to do, some of the things you may need to watch out for. That's good advice. But don't just, you can't
just ask anyone for advice.
You know, a lot of us will think to ourselves, let me go ask my friend. But your friend might give you bad advice.
Because he's never been there. He's never been there. He's not on the same journey as you.
He's never done it. So go and ask someone
that's done it.
Who's done it. Go and try and get in front of that person and say, how did you do this? You know, and the right people. As I said, you wouldn't ask me to be a doctor. You wouldn't ask me how to be, I don't know, a teacher or something like that. Because I've not done it. I've heard a lot about it. I might be able to, but go and seek the right advice. You know, so and just from there, started interviewing fans. It just started to grow and grow and grow, and through consistency and hard work. And it was a lot of hard work. That's the other thing.
Yeah, because I've seen like
unavoidable.
You guys
hard work is unavoidable.
When you at the games and you interview the fans and the supporters, the video's out the next day. Or even sometimes the same night.
The next day.
The same night.
It's out sometimes within half an hour. No, we don't go home until everything's out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, even now. Like,
so how was you edit? Was you just like editing on the spot? You had someone there?
We were editing on. Well, when we first started, because of the equipment that we had was like very, very old.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have a digital camera. We had a tape camera. So your camera guy here will know that.
Damn.
Like if we
so you had to develop the film and
So how it used to work is like when you'd film the fans, say you filmed an hour worth of footage, you'd take another hour to process that.
Okay,
so you'd have to wait for that to process. Then the laptops that we had were very like ancient laptops.
Damn.
So they took ages to process. So we'd have to literally take it home. And you know the amount of nights I fell asleep, man, because like it'd be either me or my partner at the time who was doing it with me, Tal. We'd be there and sometimes we'd drop asleep and we'd set alarm and wake up back with uploading it. And then we'd do all the editing, uploading and everything, get it all out, then we go home. You know? As we start to get better equipment now, you know what I mean, we're able to do it quicker. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Process,
The hard work part of it's unavoidable because when I first started doing AFTV for the first three and a half years, I was working a full-time job as well.
Okay, so
you know, and I'm working in a job that's quite a responsible job, you know, where I had to attend a lot of meetings. I used to fall asleep a lot in meetings, right? Because, you know, sometimes you have games during the week. You might be away at Newcastle.
And you got to get home and then go work the same morning.
Get home. Well, first of all, you're not getting home the same time as anybody else has gone to the game because after the game,
you're interviewing the supporters.
You're interviewing fans and you're going to be there for another couple of hours, you know. Editing. So I'd sometimes, you know, could go Newcastle away midweek, get home like 4:30, 5 in the morning, and I have to be up to go work at 7. You know, you know.
So how was that? Like, how did you?
That was hard. That was hard. You know what I mean? And it was very tiring. But you know what? Because I loved what I was doing, and because I believed in what I was doing, and you know, it's football. I love football. I love Arsenal. It was hard, but it weren't hard because you're just driven. You're enjoying what you're doing. So. You know, it was hard, but you know,
it's worth it now as well. It's paid off.
And
it's paid off a million times.
The only way it's going to pay off is you have to keep doing that. Keep putting that in day in. And I've still got that work ethic even now. If you used to speak,
100%.
If you used to speak to any of my guys, they'll tell you.
Even us, we can see it from like just looking at your channel.
Yeah, I'm a pretty relentless guy. So I'll be like, you know, right. We've done that. Now on to the next thing. You know what I mean? I'm kind of that kind of person, you know. But but you got to be able to put the work in. 100%.
Definitely. Who was the there must have been that point where the channel's gaining traction. Who would you say was the supporter that made? Well, maybe it wasn't. It might not have been one, but were there like a few that sort of elevated? Because you know you got Troops, Ty. Who was it that kind of?
I think even before those guys, there was a guy who we interviewed one time called Chris Hudson.
Yes, Chris. Yes,
and I remember actually that day. It was a season where we hadn't signed.
All you media lovies.
Yes,
that was it.
Yes.
That was it. I remember.
And we hadn't signed anybody that season, that transfer window. And then we had our first game of the season and played Aston Villa and we lost. And the fans were really frustrated. And he came and he did an interview. And his interview resonated with how everybody felt and it went viral. And not only his video, that day about 4 or 5 videos went viral. And that was a real turning point because like it was after that a lot of people started saying, oh, who are these guys? What's this channel? Really start to take off. So I'd say he was the first. He was the first that really got big traction. There was Claude, who used to interview, rest in peace. You know, he used to get a lot of traction. And then just so many, you know, Troops and guys that came along afterwards. But, you know,
Did Arsenal ever reach out to you? At that point, did they like offer collaboration or?
Not really. I used to do, Arsenal used to have a show called Arsenal Nation. And they used to get me on there sometimes. I used to come on to that show. Done a couple of collaborations, but on the whole, not really. We do our thing, they do their thing.
Exactly. So from there now, you branched out as well because you were doing support interviews outside the stadiums, and then it kind of developed now into
the watch-alongs and the studios.
Watch-alongs, studio shows, and actually creating content now. How did that come about? Was that your idea or did you think of it?
The watch-along specifically came along. We didn't used to really do watch-alongs. We just used to be at the games and concentrate on interviewing fans outside grounds. And it was during COVID. During COVID,
that
you know, obviously you can't go to games no more.
Yeah. So
like, you know what I mean? There's no more. You know, so I'm like, yo, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? We can't get outside grounds to interview fans.
Yeah.
We can't even, you know, what. I have to think of something or.
Yeah,
that's
think
it.
of something like, you gotta get something out
You
there.
know what I mean? So that's when I came up with the idea for the watch along. I was like, right, let's do it in a studio, socially distance everybody, and have about 6 of the you know, sort of well-known fans that we have on, like, watching a game. And people absolutely loved that. And people to this day always say to me, oh, you know, a lot of people say that helped get me through COVID.
I'm about to say that, yeah.
Which is always fantastic to hear. So that blew up from there. And then I started developing some shows. I think like one of the first one was the Bias Premier League show, which is still going on to this day. Troops was the original guy.
The ham roll of the week.
Ham roll of the week.
Started, though.
You know, and we started developing shows. To now, you know, obviously I've got, you know, studios and stuff like that where we do shows like day in, day out.
That's amazing to see.
As I was saying to you when I got here, I've already done 3 shows today, you know, for the 2 different channels that I've got. So yeah, I just wanted, you know, we're more than just interviewing fans outside the stadium. That's always going to be one of our core things, you know, speaking to fans out after games. But now I think we speak to more fans than ever because we've got. I mean, one of my proud moments was the other day. We did a watch party in Ghana, right? But the significant thing about that for me was that we played against West Ham. So we interviewed fans outside West Ham, outside the London Stadium. We had the watch along going on in the studio.
Ghana. Okay, and
interviewed fans in the studio and did we got this call-in show where fans can call in from all around the world, and they did that.
Yeah, I tried to call in once, you know. I couldn't get through.
A lot of people tried to get through. Just keep trying, man.
So go ahead.
And then we did our watch party over in Ghana, where we had 1,000 fans watching on a big screen outside, and it was absolutely brilliant. So to do those 3 things all simultaneously was fantastic. You know what I mean? And just shows that there was just a lot more than just, you know, interviewing fans outside the ground. I mean, that's just one part of what we do.
What's your favourite element of what you do at the moment, if you have one?
Favourite? Oh man, I
you got DR, you got a lot. You got DR Sports, you got AFTV, and then within that you got.
There's a lot on.
Okay, what's
there's
your
a lot
favourite?
of things I enjoy. You know what? I can't. Again, it's hard to pick one thing because I love going to games. Obviously, I love going to games and watching the team play. First and foremost, that's like the main thing. Like, I absolutely still love that. Just like the first time I went to watch, especially at the moment the way we're playing. Right. So love goes to games. I love speaking to fans outside the stadium. But then I love the watch-alongs, and I love. You know, some of these watch party things that we've been doing abroad have been amazing. I mean, like the other day, as I said, when we did that one in Ghana, we've done one before in Nigeria. We've done stuff in America. I mean, it's incredible. Like, you know, meeting fans from all around the world, engage with them. There's
a lot of elements.
I love all aspects of it. You know what I mean? I love the stuff that we do on DR Sports where I collaborate with so many different influencers of different clubs.
And I like DR Sports because it's like, it expands beyond football as well.
Expands beyond football and then
boxing, Formula One.
And you know, and what I love about it is that there's so many different influencers from different teams. And we'll have banter. We'll be at each other's throats.
It's funny.
But without spite. It's not done in a spiteful way. It's done in a, you know, it's done in a fun way. So I'm really enjoying that channel at the moment and where that's heading and the way that's growing. That's been fantastic.
And what about Biased Premier League show? I want to talk about that a little bit. Like, how did that idea come about?
Biased Premier League show just came about from like, I just wanted to like do something more than just like interviewing fans outside the stadium. I'm like, we need a show. So that was one of the first ones I came up with. Brought in Troops. Who I was like, I'm going to bring you in as I'm, you know,
YouTube's banter and partnership.
We had a great chemistry, and then we just started the show, and it was just like every Monday after the weekend we talk about Arsenal's game, but we'd also touch on some of the other teams in the Premier League as well. And that show is going brilliantly. Then Troops, after a while, he got this big job over in America. So then I brought in White Yard. He came in for Troops, and the show's still going. The show's still going. We brought in Ty now.
Well,
you know, so the show.
How does that dynamic work for you three? Because these 3 very different characters and personalities.
It's a bit chaotic, but I love it. You know what I mean? But
how is it working with Ty?
Ty's brilliant,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? Because he's just a natural. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He's just natural. He's completely.
He's so funny, man.
He's different to anybody else.
Big up Ty, man. Big up Ty.
He's probably different to any other human being you're going to meet on the face of the earth, right?
Yeah.
So him on any show is just great because he's just like, you know, he's just so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's got a good chemistry.
Yeah, definitely.
So I really
White Yardy's
enjoy.
got the
I enjoy
banter
doing that
as
show,
well.
and then, you know, obviously White
White
Yardy,
Yardy,
he's a comedian as
Yeah.
well. So he's just naturally funny, you know what I mean? And, you know, so, yeah, that's a great...
Nice.
That show's been going for a long time now. And, you know, it's funny because Boohoo Man, who sponsor the show, just renewed their sponsorship the other day. And I was going to the guys going, how long have they been sponsoring the show now? And it's like over 4 years they've
Wow.
been sponsoring the show.
So it's a
You know,
long
so
set.
that
So it
shows how good that show's been.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The longevity of it. It's been going for longer than that. And they've been on board on it for 4 years. So that's fantastic.
Nice. And working with your brother Laurie as well, how is that? Because, you know,
Yeah.
family, working together.
So my brother's always got my back, right? So, you know, that's a no-brainer for me to have him involved because, you know, I know that, you know, he's got my back.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Definitely.
Through the good times and the bad times. Because you have bad times, you have times when people are cussing you, this, that. I know that, you know, I can call him, yo. You know, I can talk to him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, because it's not always plain sailing. You know what I mean? And we've had, like, you know, lots of, you know, moments. I've had loads of people cuss me.
Yeah, I want to ask some more questions because I've seen a few stuff online, like
There's always something.
Yeah, there's something. So one is obviously one thing people have said in the past is that, you know, AFTV, they capitalize on negative when Arsenal are losing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, but I don't think that's definitely not true.
Yeah.
But
what about as you know? It's funny because I was giving a talk at Cambridge University actually last night, and that was one of the questions asked. What do you think of people who say that? And I said to them, well, where are they now?
Exactly.
The Arsenal playing brilliant. There's people like, oh, you only exist because Arsenal are playing badly. So we, you know, for the last 2 seasons, we've been excellent.
And the channel's taken off even more.
We should be out of business, shouldn't we? So when people chat foolishness, what do? You just ignore it and you crack on and do what you got to do. You know, I've heard that other people say that, other media organisations say that, I've heard all kind of things. And, you know, this 12 years now we've been going. And still going strong.
And still going.
So,
even
you know,
stronger every year.
sometimes you got to lock off the negativity.
Yeah.
You're going to get it. The bigger you get, you doing this podcast now, the bigger you get, you start to see later on, man start to, boy, they're running from JV8, man. One of you still, boy, and, you know what I mean? Just because you're getting bigger, right? So there's a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy. You know, I deal with facts.
Yeah.
And factually, that's nonsense. So why am I wasting time? When people want to say that, if you want to think that, it's your opinion. But I know what the facts are. You know, you only got to look at our numbers.
Exactly,
so,
and you
know.
see it.
Yeah.
You see it. And you had this like controversy with Simon Jordan.
Oh yeah,
There was something going on there. That was a few years ago now. That was like 2009. What happened with that?
He still cusses me to this day.
He's still. So what's his issue with AFTV and you?
I don't know what's up with his brother. You know, the man's always on my case. But listen, you know, my mum used to say, if they stop talking about you, that means nothing ain't happening for you. You know what I mean? But again, I think, you know, I don't know, man. Maybe I don't fit what he sees as to put it nicely. I don't think when he sees people like me or some of the people that are on AFTV, maybe that don't fit into his category
what he
thinks someone talking about football should look like.
Right.
But yeah, we're here to stay. We're here to
course.
stay, right? And you know, we've shook up Listen, we come into an industry, right? That's traditionally been done in one way, and we shook it up. We've been disruptors in this industry, right? And when you're a disruptor, you're gonna rattle some people.
Yep.
Even though it's not my intention to rattle people.
But naturally,
you're going to rattle people. So there's going to be people like, oh, they're just a bunch of rabble noise. They only get views because they're this, and they chat all that rubbish. And you just listen to them and say, boy, you know what? Listen to these men now, right? They don't understand why we're popular. They're not understanding the secret sauce.
I don't even think they've probably watched videos. Fully seen what you guys are doing.
I mean, you got people saying like what I took issue with him is that he was criticising me and the fans we interview and that. And I'm like, I mean, when I went on their show, the thing that really rattled him is when I said to him, "Well, how many games you been to?" And he couldn't really answer that. He started to chat about how, you know, he's not been back to Palace because that wasn't the question I'm asking him about Palace. I'm asking him how many games. You're a journalist.
How many games has he been to?
You're a journalist talking about football on the radio.
Yeah.
Day in, day out. How many games do you go to? When you're telling me about certain players and that, were you there? Or is it just the highlights of a match of the day?
That's probably what it is.
And so, whereas you're going to criticise a fan who goes to watch his team week in, week out? Nah,
it can't be. And he was trying to say like something about brainless, or some of the fans.
Yeah, like he was looking down on looking down on these fans, looking down on me. Really, I felt, you know. But I think he got a shock. Maybe I weren't what he thought I was going to be. You know what I mean? So, you know. But listen, again. You know, I don't watch them, man. I do my thing. You know I do my thing. You know what I mean? I like, you know, as I said, you know, we've got some of them rattled. He's one of them.
Yeah, definitely. He's more than some. A lot of people.
One of them rattled. Who want to be rattled, bro. You know what I mean? We're here to stay. You know what I mean? And, you know, I see our thing that we're doing. You know, the stuff, the way we're, you know, worldwide.
Global.
Why would I be worried about him?
Exactly.
God almighty.
So there was something that happened that was an Everton game.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened at the Everton game?
There was so like, I've even had grief sometimes off of some of our own fans. Where there's a section of them that, you know.
So was that our own? That was Arsenal fans. That
wasn't Everton fans. No, that was Everton fans. Wow. Like, weren't Everton fans. It was a group of Arsenal fans who don't like what I do. Say that, you know, there should be nobody doing anything, fan cams, anything around the club, and you know, they were giving me grief. These little guys, section of guys, they're printing stickers about me saying that I'm not an Arsenal fan. I support Luton.
No way.
They abuse me sometimes at games, singing certain songs about me and stuff like that. Right?
Wow.
I've had that. A lot of people that don't, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that have gone on, right? That, you know, people don't always realize. But I'm just like, again, you just have to, you kind of have to just rise above it and just say, listen, it's above. It's unfortunately, especially in football, unfortunately, it does sometimes go a little bit with the territory where you have to kind of rise above it. That day, you know, day was like some guys like trying to say to me that, you ain't filming nothing.
So they tried to stop you from filming?
Yeah, so they were trying to, almost like they're trying to roll up.
Whoa.
Which I said to them, I said, let me tell you something, I go,
they're done.
You can't stop me from filming. I'm not saying I'm going to fight, man, or nothing like that. But I'm just saying to these guys that, you know, you cannot stop me. I'm not... You want to bully someone? You pick the wrong person. Because I'll turn up deliberately.
And film.
Just for you. I mean, that's how I am. I've always been like that, right? And I'm not scared of man either. I know I'm scared of people, right? So I was just like, bro, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your breath. We'll be here next week after that, which we were. Right, so they tried to, you know, I remember I had man ringing me that night. Yo, Robbie, man, who these? I said, no, it's not about that. I go, it's not about that, man. I said, listen, I said, I'm trying to do things right. You know what I mean? And you know, so I just said to these man, you ain't gonna bully me you try and bully me into, you know, not doing what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so.
No way.
That's, you know, something that happens, you know. I've had a couple of incidents that happened. I remember one time at Tottenham.
Go on.
You know what I mean? So fans...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, man, it's one time at Tottenham, some fans... That was a bit different, that one. They came for me.
Oh, was you by yourself?
Huh? No, it was me... Well, I don't know. It was me and a couple of man. But boy, like, you know,
They try to roll
you know what happened that day? We normally film outside Tottenham.
Yeah.
And
it's risky doing that.
It is risky, right? But normally it's okay because like when we come out of the stadium, they keep the fans apart. So we'll interview our fans and then we leave, right?
Yeah.
And then that particular, it was when it was still the old White Hart Lane. When we come out, the police said to me, "You can't, no filming today. You just got to leave."
Wow.
So I said to him, I said, "Okay, I'll leave, but let me just hang back here."
Yeah.
Because I could see all their fans down the end of the road, right? Yeah. So I said to him, "Let me hang back here, right? Let them go a bit. Give me about half an hour." I said, because we can go back down to Finsbury Park and film. But I said, give me about half an hour, let them fans go. And this particular policeman, he said to me, "No, you got to leave right now." So I said to him, "Yo, if I leave right now, they're all going to know who I am. They're going to recognise me.
Yeah.
It'll be sticky for me."
Yeah, if you go now.
Yeah, he said, "I don't care. Go."
Wow.
I was going, boy. So I remember I walked out into this section and I sort of got my head down like this, walking that sheep.
What, hoodie up, everything?
I didn't have my hoodie up, but I was just walking out quietly. I remember they beat us actually. And there's like hundreds of them, man. And I'm thinking, let me see if I can just tiptoe past these men. Yeah, I've read this and I've got to pass about 3 men. Hey, that's that Robbie.
Wow.
That's that Robbie Arsenal, that effing and they all circled me.
My days.
And that was sticky, man.
How did you get out of it? Just talk your way out of it.
So then, at first they would give me a load of grief, but they'd won the game, innit?
So if they'd lost, it might have been a different.
Bro, if they'd have lost that game, you might not be talking to me now. Right? So they give me a load of grief, but they were like, "Robbie, what's the score?" And that. But then it started to get a bit more sinister. You know what I mean? Man was around there throwing coins and stuff like that. And then a load of police came in, and with their helmets and that. And one of them said to me, "Why you come out here for? You know that they're gonna." I said, "Listen, your police told me to come out here. I was gonna hang back." And then he goes, "Right, put your hood up," because people were throwing coins. But then I looked and I see loads of people filming.
Right, yeah.
You know, they're all on their phones. I'm thinking, I ain't coming out no White Hart Lane with no hood up like I'm some coward. I said, "Well, I'd rather get licked in the head with a coin, man." You know what I mean? I'm not coming out.
Stand tall.
Yeah, I said, I ain't coming. You know,
you ain't going out bad.
The street's coming back now. You know what I mean? I said, "You know what? If I coin lick me in the head, but I'm ducking out of it." I said, no. And then they all came, they took me away, the police. And they took me to this area where these load of police vans were. But all the crowd still followed me.
Wow.
So then they were
Tottenham fans, you mean?
Tottenham fans, man. They wanted my blood. So when I got to near the police vans now, the police are going, right. This policeman comes to me and goes, "Right, get in the van." So when I look down the bottom of the road now, they're all still filming. So I'm like, I ain't getting in no van. I go, "What have I done? I ain't done nothing. I'm not." I go, "If I get in this van now, it's going to look like you lot have arrested me."
Because I'm thinking to myself, a whole other story they're going to come
I'm thinking to myself, that's going to be all over the internet.
AFTV,
Robbie arrested. So I was like, I ain't done. So I said to the police, "I ain't done nothing. I ain't getting in no van." So he goes, "Get in that van." I said, "I'm not getting in no van. I ain't done nothing." So then one next police come now. He was like, you can see, so they've got these white lapels, sergeant. I can see who's more important. So he come in and he goes, "If you don't get in that van, I'm going to nick you." So I was like, I ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
So I got in the police van now. And then, to be fair to him, when I got in the police van now, he goes to me, he goes, "Listen," he goes, "I wasn't actually going to nick you, but I just needed to get you in the van just so that we can disperse them Tottenham fans at the bottom of the road." And then he was really, this policeman was really funny. He's going, "Look at them all, giving it the big one." He goes, "When Millwall was here the other day, they're all running." That's what he said.
So he's probably there every week, so he's seen it.
And he was really nice. And then he goes, "Where's your car?" Right? He goes, "Where's your car at?" And I said, "Boy, my car's at the top of, I think it was by Bruce Grove." He said, "Oh, yeah, we'll take you there, man." And then they drove me there, turned the lights on and that, drove me through the crowd. Yeah, they were all right, man. They got me. Them ones were all right. They got me back to my car. But that was sticky, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
That day.
Yeah. So since then, when you're at away stadiums, is it just like?
Do you know what? Every away stadium's cool, apart from obviously Tottenham because of the rivalry.
Yeah.
Right. When I go there, that's
you just gotta be.
That's what I class as a level A.
Level A. yeah.
That's a level A game.
It's different.
You got to be. I've got to be careful there.
Yeah.
Because, obviously I'm very well known and, I've gone to Tottenham before and I've seen online there's rewards for for anyone who beats me up.
No.
No. Yeah, man. They've had money.
Serious?
Yeah, man. They've had like £500 for the first
way.
money. Yeah. I mean, listen. It's probably a lot of it's just banter, but you've got to be aware.
You still got, exactly. If there's threats, you still got to take it with a level of seriousness.
£500. I go, man, I might do this, you know.
Yeah.
I better take my time around here, man. You know what I mean? But and it's really funny for me, right? Because like back in the day, obviously I go to a game, you wouldn't be recognised. So, and I remember back in the day when I used to work and do my surveying, I used to work in Tottenham at one time.
Oh,
and there used to be an office just like near where the police station is in Tottenham, opposite there. And I remember like sometimes we play Tottenham, I'd come out of the office, walk down the road, past all the Tottenham fans, no one would know, and just walk into the crowd. Now,
how does it feel now? Just like everyone recognising you, not just Tottenham fans, but just you're walking down the road.
Yeah,
Robbie. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. It's crazy because that took getting used to because obviously at first you're just doing something and you don't know that I remember the first time like I was walking down the road one time and there's this guy coming towards me, a big guy, and he's like looking at me, and I'm thinking, what's this guy looking at, man? He's looking and he's coming towards me, and I'm thinking, the way he's
looking menacing.
Dude,
he's looking
menacing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, hey, you know what? This could get a little, because the way this guy's looking at me, I don't like how he's looking at me. And
screwing.
I better be ready.
Yeah.
And then when the guy got up to me, he goes, "Are you Robbie?" He goes, "No, man, can I get a picture?"
So what's all the screwing about?
He weren't actually. I thought he was screwing. He weren't actually screwing. He was actually like, he was a bit shocked at me. So he was looking like that. Yeah. But I thought, I was interpreting. And I was laughing, man. I was like, bro, I thought you was coming to step to me. Goes, no, man, I love your channel, man. I love what you. And then after a while, I just started to realise that, doing every month, doing YouTube alone and all our platforms, like probably 20 million.
So people are
watching it.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget Instagram, TikTok.
And then that doesn't even include the amount of people who steal your content that's on it. So I'm like, actually, it makes sense that everybody knows.
How do you feel about that? Like people uploading it and reposting it quickly?
It is what it is, isn't it? As long as they don't blatantly nick it, you know what I mean? But it's like, even when I go around the world, I go to America, I've been like, it's crazy. Every country, Australia, China, there was people waiting at the airport for us. The other day I went to Ghana. When we come through, the welcome we got at the airport, it's incredible. Like as I said, when I think, a lot of times I have to just sort of say to myself, boy, I remember back in the day we were begging people to come on, or there was just two of us, and like now
there's an abundance of.
It's like I just always have to remind myself of that, man, just to stay humble with it, because it's just like crazy, man. I'm just like, this is mad. How many people know you?
That's all around the world as well.
And then there'll be big important people who know you, and you're just thinking, there's people come up to you and they'll be like, I remember that I sat in my car and the actor, is it Daniel Kaluuya? You know the one?
Daniel Kaluuya, he's in Get Out. Yeah.
You can't talk about it. Knocked on my window like that. I was just knocking on my window. Wound it down. It was him.
Wow.
He goes, I love what you do, man. Respect, keep doing what you're doing. But I love what you do.
How
come you? He goes, don't watch my thing, man. He goes, love what. I was blown away. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I met Thierry Henry, my hero.
Yeah. How was that?
Walked into the room to do an interview with him. He didn't know I was coming to interview him. It was like an off-the-cuff thing that was just sorted out on the day.
Right.
And when I walked in the room, I'm mad nervous. I'm thinking, what am I going to ask him and stuff like that. And I walk into the room and he turns around and he goes, he goes, I love AFTV, man, Robbie. But
wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is my hero. You know what I mean? When I met Ian Wright.
As that must have been a moment, because you grew up with Ian Wright.
Now me and Ian Wright are good friends, man. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, again, you know what I mean? And just he as well has been a person that's given me a lot of encouragement and been such a cool guy. So it's been just pure blessings, man. Yeah, you have you have downsides, you have criticism that comes. You have
but there's more blessings. The blessings outweigh the negatives.
blessings outweigh it, man. The blessings outweigh it big time, and you have to always remember that. Always remember that, because you can sometimes be, when little negative things happen. Sometimes you can. It's almost like you can forget
the positives,
and forget how many people enjoy what you do, 100%. And forget how many people are backing you. You know what I mean? They may not come online and
say it,
be vocal with
there.
it, but they're there. They're backing you. You know what I mean? And it's in this sort of modern day online world, you have to remember that there's a silent majority out there sometimes. You know, a man might love your podcast, but he ain't gonna. He may not tell you, but he listens to that weak in religious. Anything you do, he's on it. So you have to always remember that. You know, because the numbers don't lie.
Yes.
So, and I remember one time I went to a game and I think it was me and Troops, and we was doing some interviews afterwards. That day I'd got pure love all day long, and then right at the end of the day, these two guys come up, started having a go at me and stuff like that. I got really angry. I remember that day, and but then I had to like literally cuss myself afterwards and say, why am I making two men spoil my day?
Yeah,
just had a great day. I've just had like hundreds of people coming up to me, wanting to take pictures. Robbie, you're doing a great job. Love what you're doing. And I made two idiot come up and
ruin the day.
Ruin my energy. So I'm like, that's really my own fault. So I've really learned from that, where just sometimes just ignore, block those people out, because you are, as I said, the bigger you get,
the more
they come.
Yeah,
those people come.
It's true, they will. But
Levi Roots one time, that guy does the reggae shows.
Yeah.
I remember he gave me some advice one time, and he said to me, he goes, don't let people derail you. He goes, don't let haters derail
what you're doing,
because he goes, I've had it. He goes, right, but don't let them derail you from what your plans and your mission is and what you're trying to do. And he's so true, because they will come. They will come. It's how you
deal with that. Yeah, exactly. It's how your mindset is as well in that. And you mentioned cars as well. Yeah. So I saw you on Yanamize. Just like I seen the rap, the Range Rover, everything. So how was that?
You were a Range Rover.
What was it?
Mercedes.
Mercedes. Okay. So what? Like, how was it being? You know, like getting the car wrapped and all that. Like,
Yanamize's a cool guy, man. Yeah, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? But you know what, mate? I mainly drive a little electric car. I've still got that. I still got that car, and I drive that car. But I've got a little electric car that I drive mainly. I drive mainly that. Yeah. I drive that to work most days.
What's your favourite car?
My favourite car at the moment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or dream car? Your dream car? You could probably get your dream car. What's your dream car?
Car's always a Ferrari.
Ferrari?
Yeah, I like them. I like Ferrari super fast, man. I like them. You know, that's.
I thought you would have gone for the Rolls Royce.
You know what? The other day I was in Qatar. I was in Qatar, right? And I got there's a guy over there. He's an Arab. He's a sheikh.
Yeah.
And really, really nice guy. Really friendly with him, and when we was going back, it's me and Expressions actually.
Yeah.
And when we was going back to the airport, he goes, I said, I'm going to get an Uber to go. He goes, Uber? No. I'll send a car to drop you to the airport. And it was like a Rolls Royce.
He sent a Rolls
Royce Cullinan.
Damn.
That car.
Damn.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That car.
The features were there. The features are kicking in.
That car's not. But you know what? That car's so nice. I wouldn't want to drive it. I want someone to drive me.
You need someone to. Yeah, that's what I think. Rolls Royce is more of a chauffeur.
Yeah. The Cullinans. That's an amazing car. I like Lamborghini Urus.
Yeah. It's a nice car too.
I like those. I think
What's your obviously you've been Dubai, Ghana. Been Singapore as well, right? From Singapore. Yeah.
I think I've been everywhere now.
What's your favourite country you've been to?
Oh man, that's a hard.
Yeah, give me a top three because you've been to a lot of places.
Jeez.
Top three. Europe, Africa.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Where are we going with?
We've also got to big up Jamaica. Because if I don't, I get killed.
Come on, big up, yard.
Right, so Jamaica's always a great place. Dubai is nice.
Dubai
I
as
like
well.
Dubai. I'm off to Dubai in a couple of days actually.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Dubai's. I love Dubai. It's nice, but then Qatar's nice as well. That's a nice country. America's always good.
America, yeah.
But then when I went to Australia, that was nice. So, I mean, when I went to China, even that was nice. But, Africa, look, I've been to Nigeria and Ghana, and both of them were nice. Ghana especially really impressed me. You know, so did not. I don't know, man. I can't pick. It's tough, man.
There's too many options. There's too many options.
I mean, you know what? One of my favourite things about this is that, like, the amount of different countries I've been to has been like. I actually the other day said, right, start writing these things down, because there was something that happened the other day where someone was saying, "Oh, you did such and such." And I was going, "Did I?"
So there's so much you don't remember.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, this is bad when you start not even remembering these things. I don't want to take these things for granted, because they're all blessings. True. So I wrote down a list of all the countries I've been to, man.
Good, yeah, nice.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I was surprised myself.
Saying
like,
pages on pages.
I wouldn't say it all fitting on one page, but it was a big page. But no, there's a lot, man, and that, I'm so grateful. And I love going to other countries, and like, especially when you meet football fans from other countries. The passion abroad is like, it's unreal.
And in Ghana, something like, I remember you talking about it on your show. Something happened in Ghana. And you was you late for something, and they held the plane up?
Yeah,
or like, What happened with that? Like, so they're saying they held the plane for you?
Yeah, so it was in Ghana, and we went to see the Ashanti King, which that was a great experience. And then because everything overrun, we driven from Accra to Kumasi. Okay. Which that's like about a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Wow.
Right? And you know, you're not driving that 4 or 5 hour drive on the M1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bare different side roads, and
some of the road they're rough. You know what I mean? So the guys have said, "Oh, do you guys want to fly back? Because the flight is half an hour back." So I was like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll fly back
easily.
So on the way back now, because things are sort of overrun. Yeah. But I wanted to see the Ashanti King, and I'm like, yo, if we have to go back in the. If we miss the flight, we go back in the car. Van. Yeah. But the guys then spoke to a guy there who's like some important guy, who then got on his, like, he said, what flight are you on? I said, I was leaving at about 5. He goes, oh, hold on. Just took his phone out, rung up the airport, and just said, that flight at 5 o'clock, delay that.
Damn. So they delayed the whole flight?
I said to him, I go, what? They're going to do? And we're not talking about no little jet, you know. We're talking about a proper
plane, commercial flight.
With people on it. Hundreds of people on it, right?
Crazy.
And I said, "What? You can't." He goes, like, "Don't worry." He goes, "You relax, man, relax." Right? And then, that flight was delayed for about an hour and a half. Wow. And when we got there, we got on the plane. All the people were sitting there. I felt bad, you know. I felt bad, but. I felt bad, but then I didn't feel bad. I figured that drive back.
It's either 4 or 5 hours or half an hour flight.
That guy was the Don. When I talk about Don Robbie, ain't no Don. That's a Don.
That's a Don right there.
That's
delay the flight.
That's a delay, that, man. And even when we got to the airport, I see the plane on the tarmac. I'm like, yo, guys, let's rush and go and have a drink, man. Just go in the VIP, have a little drink. He goes, you guys have been a bit hot now. Have a little drink first, then go on.
And then go on the plane.
I was going, you sure? I go, the plane, but don't worry about that, man.
So you got Ghana governed.
Done that, man. That guy was the Don.
Big him up, man. Big him up.
Yeah, but no, you know what? Big up Ghana, man. No, I really enjoyed it, man. You know,
I was happy to see you guys out there, man.
I'm planning to do more things in Africa. I think we could be heading to South Africa before the end of the season.
Excellent, nice.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I want to do Kenya. You know what I mean? There's a lot of countries over there, because one of the things is I remember years ago I was in America, and I was asking some of the Arsenal sort of guys who do the tours, why don't you do Africa? Because you've got so much support over there. And
100%.
they were like, what they were saying is that the money, and I hear them on that. The money's in America. When they bring them over to America, they pay millions. But I said to myself, I want to go and start doing some of those things in those territories where, you know, the team doesn't always go to. So I was like, and I want to do Africa.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first, I'd had planned to do Sierra Leone, and that was all going through. And then COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
And then what happened was the people in Sierra Leone still wanted me to come, but then they put Sierra Leone. I don't know if you remember when they had these things, lists.
Oh, was it like tier 1?
Red list.
Yeah, red.
So they put Sierra Leone on the red list. And then so it was like, if I go, when I come back, I've got to stay in some hotel for like 2 weeks.
They were doing all that, innit? Like 3 weeks in a hotel.
I said to them, I go,
quarantine.
Much as I want to come, I ain't doing that. So I ain't staying in a hotel thing because, you know, it's right. Because I heard them hotel things were rough as well, because I remember this girl.
Because you're in one room, you know, as well.
Yeah, this girl I know who come back from Brazil, she said it was like being in a prison. I said, I ain't doing that, right? So when COVID finished now, I'm like, right, let's get this thing back on now. Let's go to some of these countries, and I want to go Africa and India was the 2 places I was thinking.
Have you been to India?
I haven't been to India yet.
So that's on the list as well.
And India's got crazy support. We're going to do India. We're definitely doing India.
Nice. Look forward to that.
The first place I said, right, let's do Nigeria. So we went and we did Nigeria, and that was brilliant.
Ty was there as well.
Ty was there.
Who else was in?
Ty, Kelechi.
Yeah. You had to
Stricto came, me. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant in Nigeria. Great country, man. You know what I mean? And then we then did Ghana the other day. Again, incredible. And as I said, I've got lined up to do some more countries in Africa, and then I got to do Jamaica because I'm getting cussed.
Yeah, so you have to go back, you know.
Because I was in Florida. Arsenal was out in Florida, and some guy, Jamaican guy, come up to me and goes, "Yo, Robbie, hey."
Saying they need
like the way the guy did it, right? The way the guy came up to me, I thought he was being serious. He goes, "Yeah, man, I love all y'all going, you know." Brother, man, I love all y'all. I said, what have I done? He goes, "Me see you go to Nigeria, but you not come to Jamaica yet. What kind of thing that?" So I said, I got bridging. I go, "Don't worry, man. We're coming. So I want to do Jamaica.
that Don Robbie's going Jamaica.
Yeah. We're talking, and Jamaica's definitely going to happen. That will definitely happen. And I love going to those places and then doing our stuff over there, and then showing love to those fans, and you know. So definitely want to do over there. But it's so good. You know, and then there's some Scandinavian countries I'm looking at doing as well. Even though we've done like Norway and Sweden and all that, but I'd like to, you know, because there's great support in those places. But
and don't forget, when you go to watch the Champions League games, you're still travelling as well. Or do you just go for the games and then just go straight back?
No, we always try and make something of it. So the other day when we was in Portugal for the Porto game, you know, we went from the day before, we went around the city, but I mean, again, try and meet people from over there. So, you know, but yeah, so the travelling
like experience as well.
The travelling aspect has been, you know, I've been to countries I would never have thought, you know, before I did this, I wouldn't have thought I went to China and Russia and
it's crazy.
Ukraine, and I've been to all them places, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. And it's a blessing, man. It's great.
Definitely. And couple quick fire questions.
Quick fire.
We got. So I'm going to start. Henry or Bergkamp?
Henry for me.
Henry.
Bergkamp, unreal player. But for me, Henry was my favourite player, so I've got to go Henry.
Ronaldo or Messi?
That's a harder one.
Just got to put it there. I'm going Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think it's Messi. You know what? I just think Messi, natural talent.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Messi, but longevity.
Ronaldo's on 38, he's still playing.
Yeah, and I think he could probably still play in the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that replace him at United, are they better?
Yeah.
You know,
debatable,
you know, yeah, Ronaldo. It's a really hard one, that one, but I'll slightly go Messi.
Messi, yeah. Walcott in his prime.
Nah, Saka. Saka's an unbelievable player, man. Saka,
definitely. Wilshere or Odegaard? Jack Wilshere or Odegaard?
If Wilshere would have stayed injury free, it would be a harder argument. It's definitely Odegaard. But Wilshere, he had all the talent in the world. He was just he was unfortunate.
Yeah, he was that bad.
Really unlucky, man. Really unlucky player.
Time or money?
Time
or money? What do you want? What would you like more? More time.
Time. Because if you've got time, you can make money.
Exactly.
You know, if you can have money and
no time. You don't know.
You've got no time. A Man City boy here is £1 million, but next week you're dead. What's the point?
What's the point? Exactly.
You know what I mean? No, time. Life's not all just about money. Man.
True. I asked your brother Laurie about this question. Yeah. Would you rather flip a coin for £5 million?
Yeah.
Or get 100k in your account right now?
Get 100k in my account right now.
You'd pick 100k?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Laurie said that you'd flip a coin.
No.
He said you risk taker.
I'm a risk taker, but the 100 grand, I can go and invest that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can go and invest that 100 grand in thing, you know.
Yeah.
The flip a coin, I could lose everything.
Exactly.
I've got nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah, but nothing. I don't know why he said that. You know, I am a risk taker.
Yeah.
I am a guy that he knows how I operate. I'm the sort of guy, I come up with an idea, I go, right, come on guys, let's go. We're doing it. And then man, go, what about, I was like, don't worry about that, let's do it. But with that,
guaranteed
100 grand, you can go and invest that in a couple of things and yeah, you may not make 5 million, but you make money.
Exactly.
So yeah, invest.
Cool. And the next question is this, yeah. So you got so you earn 3k a month, but you don't have to do anything, yeah. You can just chill. Or you work 12 hours a day on like an oil rig in the North Sea, 12 hours hard labor, Monday to Saturday, 12-hour shift, but you get 100k every month. Which one you picking?
I really like that oil tanker thing, you know.
Oh yeah, no holiday as well.
Yeah,
you get a 1 week holiday.
You get a 1 week holiday. You gotta wake up at 6 a.m. and finish at 6 p.m. Or you can just get the 3k, but you can't earn any more than 3,000 a month.
Nah, but I'll probably take the oil rig because just not for the money, just that I couldn't just sit down doing nothing all day. Yeah. Even if you paid me 3k, like
no, you can live your life, you just can't make money.
You just can't make.
Nah, but I don't like that setup, man, because I don't wanna just sit down and be comfortable.
Yeah. There's not
in a comfort zone getting $3 grand a month and that's it.
There's nothing else you can do, no matter how much.
Give me the
success.
The oil rig, I can work hard on that. I can get off of the oil rig in time. I can go and do something else.
You have to retire.
I'm stuck on the oil rig till retirement. No, I'll just take the $3 grand in, man.
till you're 65.
No, then I'll take 65. No. I'll take the $3 grand in.
But if you take the $3 grand, imagine you become like a professional footballer or whatever. Yeah, you can't earn what the others are earning around. You're just getting that.
Yeah, but if you're on the oil rig till you're 65, I'd rather take the $3 grand and just chill. You know what I mean? But if you're saying to me I'm on the oil rig, I can earn up to £100,000, but then I can make a plan that I say this would be me now. I'll be like, right, in 4 years' time, I would have made enough money. I'm going to get off the oil rig, and in the meantime, I'm setting up a couple of other little things. Yeah, that'd be me. I'll be on the oil rig.
Make a plan.
But you still have to stay on that oil rig.
Yeah, you just have to stay on that oil rig.
You still have to stay on that oil rig.
You can do it.
Yeah, but as long as I can get off the oil rig eventually.
Till 65.
No. Give me the.
You can invest money. You can do whatever.
No. What's the point? I'll give me the $3 grand. Man, you know what I mean? I'll take the $3 grand and just chill there because I'm working all them hours and then I can't get off.
You can't. Yeah, it's true.
Nah.
Cool. So, boom. Where are we now? Where are we at now? So yeah, DR Sports as well. What was the inspiration for?
The inspiration for DR Sports is
DR Sports.
Yeah, DR Sports is I wanted to have a channel that was about all football, not just Arsenal. A channel where I could bring together different voices from different clubs because I've met so many people along the way that are great influencers, but support different clubs, Chelsea, United, whatever. So that was the whole thing around DR Sports, and then we could talk about other sports apart from football, boxing, F1, whatever. Basically, just all football,
everything covered,
all sports.
Nice,
so that was the whole idea around it, and it's
I was excited because when I saw the trailer with the cigar You know what I'm saying? He was like really there. I was hyped for that, you know. It was good. It was like, I like the promo he did for that as well.
That's the promo of Best of Enemies. Which is
Best
like
of Enemies. How is that show like going? How is that?
It's brilliant. You know
pure jokes.
Love working with Expressions.
We got
you know what I
Expressions,
mean?
man.
He's like such a talent.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember when I first approached him and I said to him, "Right, let's do this show." And I gave him the concept for it, and he was like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that could work." And we just been working together now for years, and there's just such a natural chemistry between me and him. And I love doing that show. And you know, the channel's just going from strength to strength.
Definitely.
And yeah, I'm enjoying. We got a studio for because we've got that, studios for AFTV. We've got studios for DR
Sports. Okay.
And so you'll find me in one of those two most of the times. You know what I mean?
Nice,
so,
man. And from there, so with the DR Sports as well, that's how I met Laurie as well.
Yeah.
Because he was out interviewing some of the boxers and the people at the so do you go to all events, and like similar to with AFTV, you interview people, but it will be like different sporting events too,
I mean, at the moment most of the DR shows are studio based. Yeah. But the plan is in the future to get out and about with it more. But yeah, I mean, we would be like big boxing events or you know, big football events. You know, the other day when it was the Carabao Cup final, one of the guys, AGT, who's this big Liverpool channel, he was at the Liverpool game, did a load of content around that, was brilliant.
Nice.
So we're looking to get out to more events.
And expanded,
yeah, it's going really well, that channel, man.
Nice.
Really, I personally think one day that'll be bigger than AFTV.
Wow. I was going to say, did you ever, when you first started up AFTV, did you see it getting to this level and beyond?
No, I mean, listen, you have ambitions, big ambitions, but I didn't think it would get as big as where we are now. You know what I mean? And you know, when I started it, there was like even some people at YouTube saying to me, "Yeah, you'd be lucky to get 10,000 subscribers," is what they said.
Wow.
Because you can't show. Because what they were saying to me is you can't show football highlights. Okay. So that's gonna.
Right. So the copyright.
I was like, yeah, but we're not gonna show any highlights, and everything we're gonna do, all our content's gonna be original on it. So we disproved that. 10,000.
For real. You were saying you didn't see it going, you know, AFT like developing into what it is now, man. How does that feel now that you've seen it over the years developing?
It's a beautiful thing to see how big it's grown. But yeah, at first I was hoping it would be successful, but no, I didn't think it'd be as big as it is now. And you know, the studios we got, and you know, there was 2 people at the start. Now, you know, across the different channels and organisations, like over 20 people.
Wow! So you got a whole team working full time. Amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
So like, yeah, it's crazy.
Dreams come true.
They do.
Planning come true as well. Planning with your ideas.
Like you have a dream. If you're willing to execute the dream, you know what I mean?
That's it.
You know, it's not
take action.
You got to take action, man. It's not. You know, it's not free wishes and, you know...
Nah, there's no genie coming to save you, no.
You know what I mean? Or angel.
Nah.
You know, it doesn't work like that. You got you put the work in, and then the angel comes and blesses it.
That's it.
That's how I feel it works.
Facts.
What's
next for AFTV?
For AFTV?
Yeah.
Just to keep growing and just keep doing what we're doing, and like keep like you know, interviewing more and more fans around the, you know, in the UK and around the world, and expanding and getting bigger. For the whole thing that I'm doing, it's the same sort of thing really. It's just about, and then like, I don't know where this is going to take me, man. It's like,
but you're excited for the journey, right?
I'm excited. There's so many things I get asked to do which I wasn't expecting when I first started doing this. I've done a documentary on TV. I wasn't expecting that. I've been asked to do some more now, which is going to be great. I get asked to speak at a lot of places, and I've spoken. Funny, because I was saying to my daughter yesterday. Now I did Cambridge University.
And you did TED Talks as well.
I've done a TED Talk. I've done Cambridge University, Oxford University, Westminster College, Durham University, Eton. All these places, I'm like, if you told me that at the start...
Boris Johnson's...
Yeah, he went there. Yeah, if you told me that at the start, I'd be like, yeah, chatting rubbish, man. Why would they want me to come there and speak? Now that, you know, I've spoken at all those places. I've spoken, not just those places, I've spoken at some great, you know, secondary schools in and around London as well and everywhere. So those sort of things you don't expect.
Yeah.
You know,
amazing,
so I don't know what else is coming.
Your story is inspirational.
Yeah, it's
inspirational for real.
It's like, sometimes you forget about it until you start talking about it, and then you're just like, yeah, you know what I mean? And I can see why people will hear it sometimes and like then come up to me and say, I was inspired by it, because I guess if I was looking to start something and I sort of heard that, I'd be thinking the same. But I think what it shows is that, you know, anybody can do it. I was like, you asked me right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, what I did, I just grew up ordinary, humble background. You know, I've had to graft. You know, so you can
do it.
I mean, ain't nobody more special than anyone else. You know?
It's your mindset and how you go through it.
It's just, you know what I mean, it's and I can tell you, like, there's many other people doing things like me. That, you know, when you then ask them, what's your background? You know, you're like, well, there's similar, you know, similar background. I grew up, you know, in that area, but you know, but if you're ambitious and you're willing to back it up with the work and you're determined, you can achieve a lot, man. You can. It's just like, you know, these are not stories that are not obtainable to anybody.
It is possible.
Obtainable to anybody, and just it's all about just staying humble and just, you know, respecting people as well.
Yes.
You know, me, I respect everybody, man. I respect, you know, even the bin man that comes around to my house. Big respect, because
that's what I learned from a young age from my family.
Trust me, that's what my parents taught me that. My mum in particular.
Yes.
You know, because if those bins ain't emptied,
you're gonna have some flies,
then what?
Some rats.
Yeah, those people. So their job's really, really important. And not only that, sometimes that man who's emptying the bins could be.
He might have a business he's working on.
He's got a business he's working on in his. You know what I mean? He's doing his job because he's training to be a doctor. Never know. Don't disrespect. No, you know how many people I've met that I've like. I remember I was over in Qatar and I met a sheikh in Qatar. Yeah. Through a guy. When this guy came over and introduced himself to me, I was thinking, oh, that brother. You know what I mean? Like, he's telling me about, do you want to come to a museum and this and that? I was thinking, no disrespect. In my mind, which I was wrong. I was wrong. In my mind, I'm thinking,
who is he?
Who is he? But he's a very, you know, he wasn't the actual sheikh himself, but he was a very important guy. And he knew. Never disrespect anybody. Respect everybody, whether they're a sheikh or whether they're just like a, you know, whoever. Respect everybody, man, because you don't know who's who as well.
It's true. You never know.
And you don't know where that person. The other thing is about this, right? You see a lot of people, like, they're starting on their journey. So help them as well. But me, I always try to help people.
Yeah.
As much as I can. Obviously, you can't help absolutely everybody, but I'll try my best.
You do your better, 100%.
Yeah, because you know what? A man's starting on his journey, man. Help them. There's too many people sometimes, like, they don't want to help no one. They're like, they've gone and done
they've already made it, and then they feel like, they don't want to, like, help bring the next person up with them, kind of thing.
I'm not like that, man. I mean, share up the thing.
Yeah.
That's how. That's my.
That's why I say I got a big up for you featuring on this podcast as well.
My thing. I mean, you know, I can't. You know, I try to do as many different things as I can. Obviously. You do have to say no sometimes. You do have to, because you've got things you have to do as well for your own thing. Yeah. But as much as I can help people, even if and sometimes helping people is just words. Help them, man, because the thing's not just for you.
No, respect. It's true.
The thing's not just for you.
And that might mean the whole world to them. You mention it, even saying their name.
In anything in the world, help people, because it's not just for you. And one day you're gone.
Facts. Yeah, it's true.
One day you're gone. Help our next man come true. You know what I mean? It's not just about you. Me, I'm, you know, built. But I also look on my thing and say, right, I was one of the first man I built. The next man that are coming behind me probably going to be way bigger than me. That's what I was saying to that Simon Jordan and that. I go, you're saying this stuff to me? Don't worry about me.
There's even more people that's
soldiers behind me coming, Reggie.
exactly.
You know what? I mean, if you're worried about me, you don't need to.
Ready.
You shouldn't be worried about the watch the man, watch them young, hungry man them that's coming behind me now, who's seen that I could do it. Them man are coming with fresher ideas. They're coming with bigger ideas, bigger plans. They're younger. What are you worried about me for? You better worry about them.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Nah, man.
Wait until they come through. And I'm seeing it already. I'm seeing some of these guys coming through, man. There's some.
And look, there's a lot of good content in the space now.
Look at people like Expressions. Look at the talent that they got. You're worrying about me.
Troop's built up his own platform as well.
There's some young guys coming through right now that people don't even heard about much. Wait till they come. I'm just like an entry. I'm the entry guy.
But again, they got the inspiration from you as well.
And that's great that they got the inspiration from me. But I think that some of these guys are going to do bigger things.
Yeah.
So
go on to do bigger and better.
Yeah, and this man's worrying about me.
Bruh, I don't get it.
Wait till the next man then comes. You better start fret.
Innit? And then that's when he's going to be like, oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, so it's not just it's not just for me. It's about bringing people through, man. Helping people, respect. Trying to bring our next man through. You know, try and, as much as you can. Give a little advice. Help them out. Encourage people.
What advice would you give to the young people that we got a lot of young viewers? What advice would you give to them out there? They're maybe thinking of doing YouTube, getting into content.
Do it.
What would you say to? Just get your camera, do it. Get your phone.
My motto is like that Nike thing where it says just do it. That's me. Just do it.
Just do it.
Don't talk it.
Be it.
Do it.
Be about
Set your
it.
little plan about it.
And get it done.
And then get it done. Seek good advice.
Yeah.
And then when you start doing it, be prepared to work hard. Because,
it's going to be a lot of late nights.
Another one of the sayings that I like is there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.
Yeah. True.
Right?
True.
I've got to take the stairs, brethren.
Take the long way, man. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts to success.
You do a shortcut and that don't last.
Yeah. You're going to go slack
that's
right back down.
That's why sometimes you'll have a man do a viral video and then next minute man said, what happened to that guy? They hear about him again.
He didn't follow up with anything after.
Right? Be prepared to work hard and be consistent. In everything you do, be consistent. Yeah, if you're making content, be prepared to make, if you're making it once a week, do it once a week. If you're making it 5 times a week, do it 5 times a week.
Whatever plan you have, stick with it.
Stick with it. Be consistent in what you do. Right, and sometimes I do a show in the summer called Transfer Daily.
Yeah, we're locked in.
7 days a week.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right, I've been doing that for years. Sometimes I'm like,
how does it feel like when you're just tired? What motivates you to keep doing it?
Because I know I've got to do it. It's a bit like when you go to the gym and that. Like gym, the gym and that.
Yeah.
You wake up some morning, you don't want to go gym,
but you have to go anyway.
If you don't go, you're going to be like, oh, no, man, I should have went. That's the same sort of... So like with that show, I know I've got to do it 7. First and foremost, I enjoy doing the show. But there are days when you're like... Oh, man, this is like a lion today.
But the fact that...
But you got to do the show.
You have to do it. It keeps you like in check, basically.
You have to do the show, you got to work it hard. So that's part of the hard work, that's part of the consistency. And if you do that, you get rewards, right? But trust me, if anyone tells you that this is going to be an easy thing, forget it, man. If you look at any of those, I'm talking about the space, look at any of those big influencers. If you think they don't graft, even the biggest one,
they're working.
You are wrong. Guys like KSI, I always use him as an example because he's the biggest, right? And a lot of men look at him and maybe they see the jokes and whatever and just feel...
They don't see the late nights of editing that goes into it.
I've seen that brother in action and how hard he works, right?
Even down to him boxing as well.
Yeah. Every bit of success he's got, he deserves every last bit.
Big up
because
KSI,
he puts the work in, and his brother Deji, and these men work their socks off. And that's why they are where they are. And that's why other men are not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the work that they'll put in and the lengths, you can see through the boxing. I think that's a great example. The boxing thing he's doing, the man trains like...
Exactly.
He may not be AJ, but he trains like AJ.
Yeah, exactly. And his work ethic, it transferred into everything he does.
I remember he ain't got to do that, He ain't got to do that boxing thing. Man's got money.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got fame, like people know he ain't got to do that. But he's chosen to do that, and he's taken the thing serious. And he train to see the shape he's in and stuff like that. So if you think you're gonna like do these things without putting the work in, even when you're at them heights like them man there,
you probably have to put in more work when you get up there.
That's exactly. Listen, I thought when I left my job, and I started doing this full time, I was like, yeah man, nice now. Man. I mean, we'll be like. Remember all them nights? It's gonna be like half the thing. I'm gonna be nah.
So you work even more.
You work even more.
You be working on because that with that job was it like 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Now with content, it could be 24/7.
Even more. You work harder.
24/7.
Now when that job was gone, I was like, well, how come I got no time to myself? I was got like, when I was doing this thing, I had more time then. That's just your own thing now. And then you start like you're employing people, so they're dependent upon you. So then there's no sidestepping this thing.
Harder, you got to work harder now.
Anybody who feels that it's gonna come into this thing,
be an easy ride. It ain't.
Easy ride and start flossing. Nah,
you got another thing coming.
Man, do that. But what you see what happened to them? Next week, they drop off.
You don't hear from them again.
So be prepared for that. But
stay consistent.
But believe in your dreams, man, and it can happen.
It can happen. Now, big up. Thanks again, Robbie, for featuring on the show, man.
Thank you. Best of luck with this.
And to round up now, just gotta say big up Don Robbie, big up Robbie, big up AFTV, big up all the 20 staff you got on there now, man. So big up all of them. Big up everyone in DR Sports. Big up Ace. Big up Broski in the corner there as well. Big up. This is Creative Insight TV. Well, this is Creative Insight Podcast. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we're out.